الله الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار. الله الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس سلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار.
As-Salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to this episode about the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In this episode, first of all, we are going to take Al-Badi, the incomparable, and Al-Baaqi, the everlasting, and they are number 95 and 96. Now the word Al-Badi, incomparable, which is coming from Bada'a, to create something without any precedent, without any example. And this is mentioned twice in Al-Quran, that attribute. The ayah of Surah Al-Baqarah, Badi'u as-samawati wal-ard, وَإِذَا قَضَى أَمْرًا فَإِنَّمَا يَقُولُ لَهُ كُن فَيَكُونُ. He is the creator of the heaven and the earth without any example. And whenever he decrees a matter, he simply says, Kun, be, fayakun, and the matter happens. The second ayah, which is the ayah of Surah Al-An'am, Badi'u as-samawati wal-ard, anna yakunu lahu waladun walam takun lahu sahibah, وَخَلَقَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ. بَدِيعُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. He is the creator of the heaven and the earth without any precedent. From where he got a child and he got no wife. وَخَلَقَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ. He has created everything. وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ. And he knows about everything. So in the first ayah, the word Badi'u as-samawati wal-ard is used in this context, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to him to create something is very simple, just to say kun and it is there. And then by that saying kun, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created such a magnificent universe, such a beautiful universe. That is the work of Allah. And the second where Badi'u as-samawati wal-ard is used, the example is given that the people, they attribute a child, a son to Allah. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala got no spouse, why should you say that? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala needs that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who can create the heaven and the earth, he got no need to have sons and children. وَخَلَقَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ. He has created everything. He is Al-Khaliq. He is the creator. And all other things are makhluq, the created things. So how are you going to say that a created thing is similar to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ. And he knows everything. Now, this word Badi'u as-samawati wal-ard demands from us to think about the universe, to ponder deep in the signs which are scattered everywhere in this universe. Because by looking in these signs, you come to know about the Creator. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَفِي الْأَرْضِ آيَاتٌ لِلْمُقِنِينَ وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ. And there are signs in the earth for those people who wants to have yaqeen, iman. And think about your own nafs. Afala tubsirun. Don't you see? If you see in your own nafs, in your own self, you will find miracles happening there. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also said about the very same phenomenon, سَنُرِيهِمْ آيَاتِنَا فِي الْآفَاقِ وَفِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حتى يتبين لهم أنه الحق أولم يكف بربك أنه على كل شيء شهيد. We are going to show them our signs في الآفاق, in the horizons, and among their own selves, حتى يتبين لهم أنه الحق, until it becomes clear to them that He is al-Haq. Allah is Haq. Is it not enough for your Lord? أنه على كل شيء شهيد, that He is a witness upon everything? That is what is demanded. Think about this universe. Let us take this simple example. This universe has it come into existence at random, haphazardly, without any scheme at all? No, it can't happen like this. Just take, for example, 10 monkeys, say 100 monkeys, give them 100 typewriters, and let them press the keys. Even if they are pressing these keys for 100 years, can they create just one line or two lines of any poetry, good poetry, let alone a stanza which is coming from Wordsworth or from Milton or from any other great poet? No, they can't. Nothing can come into existence haphazardly. How could you say about this universe that it has come without a God, without a creator? This is how you have to look into the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Think about this earth, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it suitable for your residence. All those things which are needed for your survival are provided here. The earth, which is at a certain distance from the sun, that distance, who made it? Who measured it? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If the distance was less than the distance now, then what is going to happen? Everything on this planet was going to be burned completely. And if it was farther than what it is now, everything would have been turned into freezing point. Nobody could survive in that earth. That earth on which you stand and walk, though it is moving, rotating, but still you don't feel about its movement. You still walk upon it. You can build your houses upon it. You can fly upon it. Who made it suitable for you? That is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Badi'us samawati wal ard. We can keep on speaking about the different aspects of this universe, of this earth alone. You can speak about your own nafs and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created you with all these faculties and functions by which you operate in this life. All this show one thing, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Badi'us samawati wal ard. Now let us take the next attribute, which is Al-Baaqi, the everlasting. The everlasting. Everything is going to come to an end. Who is going to remain? Allah. As He said, كُلُّ مَنْ عَلَيْهَا فَانٍ وَيَبْقَى وَجْهُ رَبِّكَ ذُو الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ. Whatever is on this planet is going to perish. What is going to remain? That is the face of your Lord, the Lord of majesty and bounties. The word wajh, the face, is mentioned here, though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a being is meant, because the face got a great significance. The believers, they want to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they are going to be shown that on the day of judgment, after entering into paradise. وُجُوهٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ نَاظِرَةٌ إِلَىٰ رَبِّهَا نَاظِرَةٌ. That day, there would be fresh faces. Look, even the believers as the full being are meant here, but the word face is mentioned here. وُجُوهٌ. The faces, there would be some faces very fresh. إِلَىٰ رَبِّهَا نَاظِرَةٌ. And they are going to look at their Lord. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Baaqi. وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى الْحَيِّ الَّذِي لَا يَمُوتُ وَصَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِهِ وَكَفَى بِهِ بِذُنُوبِ عِبَادِهِ خَبِيرًا in Surah Al-Furqan. Then depend upon Allah who is alive, who is living, الَّذِي لَا يَمُوتُ, who is not going to die. وَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِهِ, celebrate His praises. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows, is well aware of the sins of the mankind. Now there is a question here that the people in Al-Jannah are going to have an eternal life. So what is the difference between the life of the people in Jannah and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is everlasting? The difference is like this, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is everlasting by Himself, and the people in Al-Jannah will have an everlasting life with the permission of Allah. They can't have this life by themselves, no. They depend upon Allah for that life. And here we read this passage from Surah Hud. فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ شَقُوا فَفِي النَّارِ لَهُمْ فِيهَا زَفِيرٌ وَشَهِيقٌ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا مَا دَامَتِ السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ إِلَّا مَا شَاءَ رَبُّكَ إِنَّ رَبَّكَ فَعَّالٌ لِمَا يُرِيدُ. Those people, the rest people, the people who are meant for the hellfire, they would be فَفِي النَّارِ, they would be in the hellfire. They got violent exhaling and inhaling. They would abide therein forever. مَا دَامَتِ السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضِ, as long as there are the heavens and the earth. إِلَّا مَا شَاءَ رَبُّكَ, except what Allah willed. إِنَّ رَبَّكَ فَعَّالٌ لِمَا يُرِيدُ. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does what He likes. And as for the people of Al-Jannah, وَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ سُعِدُوا فَفِي الْجَنَّةِ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا مَا دَامَتِ السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ إِلَّا مَا شَاءَ رَبُّكَ عَطَاءً غَيْرَ مَجْذُوذٍ. And those people who are the fortunate ones, the people in Al-Jannah, they would abide therein, again, مَا دَامَتِ السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ, as long as there are the heaven and the earth. إِلَّا مَا شَاءَ رَبُّكَ, except what Allah willed. عَطَاءً غَيْرَ مَجْذُوذٍ, that is a gift which is not going to be terminated. So what I wanted to say, that their living is attached with the will of Allah. Though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the end, عَطَاءً غَيْرَ مَجْذُوذٍ, that is a gift which is not going to be terminated, which means that they will remain in the bounties of Al-Jannah. It shows very clearly that they are going to last forever, but again with the permission of Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is Al-Baaqi, He is Al-Baaqi, He is everlasting. And inshallah we are going to speak about another attribute of Allah after the break. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الله الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار.
As-Salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In this session, we are going to speak about another attribute of Allah, and that is Al-Waarith, and that is number 97. Al-Waarith, the supreme inheritor. Of course, Al-Waarith is the person who inherits someone after his death. So when we apply this attribute to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which shows very clearly that really He is Al-Waarith. Everything is going to perish. who is going to remain after that? That is Allah. And this what is said in this ayah of Surah Maryam, Inna nahnu narisul arda wa man alayha wa ilayna yurja'un. Inna nahnu narisul ard. We are going to inherit the land. Wa man alayha, and everyone, we are going to inherit everyone which is upon it. Wa ilayna yurja'un, and all these people are going to come back to us. It is very interesting to note the word man here, because as you know, in Arabic, man is used normally for the living souls. The living souls who got the will and who got the mind. Unlike the word ma, which is used for those creatures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who got no mind, no will. Inna nahnu narisul arda wa man alayha. So it means that human beings, the jinn, all of them, they are going to die, and then who is going to remain after them? That is Allah. So he becomes Al-Waarith. Now this word Waarith is used in context of the human beings. For example, Sayyidina Zakaria alayhi salam, he made a supplication. Now this is mentioned in two places in Al-Quran. وَزَكَرِيَّا إِذْ نَادَى رَبَّهُ رَبِّ لَا تَذَرْنِي فَرْدًا وَأَنْتَ خَيْرُ الْوَارِثِينَ. Zakaria, when he cried to his Lord, "O my Rabb, don't leave me alone. وَأَنْتَ خَيْرُ الْوَارِثِينَ, and you are the best among the inheritors." So here Al-Waarith is used for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now he says that, "O Allah, as you are the Waarith, you are the real Waarith, but I want someone to inherit me as well," because at that time he got no child at all. This is another place that is the beginning of Surah Maryam, where that supplication is mentioned. Let us read that. Kaf ha ya ain sad, dhikru rahmati rabbika abdahu Zakariya, إذ نادى ربه نداء خفيا قال رب إني وهن العظم مني واشتعل الرأس شيبا ولم أكن بدعائك رب شقيا وإني خفت الموالي من ورائي وكانت امرأتي عاقرا فهب لي من لدنك وليا يرثني ويرث من آل يعقوب وَاجْعَلْهُ رَبِّ رَضِيًّا. What a beautiful passage it is. Mention the mercy of your Lord upon his slave Zakaria. When he shouted to his Lord, but in a low voice, iznada rabbahu, he called upon his Lord with a low voice, and he said, "O Allah, my bones have become weaker. My head is just aflame with what? With old age, with grey hairs. And I don't think that I am so wretched in my dua to you. Means that you are going to accept my dua. I fear all the other relatives who are going to be after me if I don't have anyone to inherit me. Now my wife is barren, but still I ask you, for habli min ladunka waliya, give me a gift from you, that gift which is going to inherit me and inherit the family of Jacob, Yaqub. وَجَعَلْهُ رَبِّ رَضِيًّا. O Allah, make him a pleasing one." Now, apart from our subject, there are few other things which we understand from this passage, that when you make dua, when you supplicate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, supplicate it in a low voice. There is no need to shout. And then, even if there are no means to fulfill your demands, even then you can ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He is the provider of the means. In this case, Zakaria alayhi salam, who is an old person, his wife is barren, there is no hope for them to have a child, but still Zakaria alayhi salam got the hope with Allah. Oh Allah, you can do what you like. You can give me an heir for me, inheritor for me, who is going to inherit me. And what type of inheritance he wanted? Is it an inheritance of money? No. Who inherits me and the family of Yaqub? It means inheritance of knowledge, inheritance of prophethood. This is what he wanted. And then he said, وَجَعَلْهُ رَبِّ رَضِيًّا. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make him a pleasing one. Ask son from Allah, but also ask, oh Allah, give me a good son. Rabbi habli min as-salihin. The dua of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Give me someone who is salih, who is pious. Just don't ask just for a son. No, a son who is a good one, he is a pious one. Look at the example of Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam. His son did not believe in him. And when the earth was flooded, Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam, out of his love for his son, he said to his son, come and join us in the boat. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not like this supplication. The son is being drowned, and Nuh alayhi salam is saying that he is my son. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling him that he is not your son. Innahu amalun ghayru salih. He is something which is not good. He is an act which is not salih. So the difference comes because of salah, because of the goodness. A person who is not a believer, though he is your son, he is not called your son. He is punished by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is why our dua, our supplication should be like this. Allahumma hab lana min ladunka ilman nafi'an wa qalban khashi'an wa lisanan dhakiran wa imanan kamilan wa afwan shamilan waj'alna khayra muwarrithin li khayri warithin minna wa anta khayrul warithin. O Allah, give us from yourselves knowledge which benefits, a heart which is humble, a tongue which remembers Allah, faith which is perfect, afwan shamilan, and forgiveness which is full and complete. وَجْعَلْنَا خَيْرَ مُوَرِّثٍ لِخَيْرِ وَارِثٍ مِنَّا, and make us the best one to leave an inheritance and the best one to receive the inheritance. Which means that when we die, good people, good children should inherit us. And we ourselves, we should be the good ones to inherit our fathers. وَأَنْتَ خَيْرُ الْوَارِثِينَ, and you are the best one among the inheritors. Allahumma aj'alna min warasati jannatin na'im wa matti'na bin nadhari ila wajhika al-karim ma'a an-nabiyyina was-siddiqina was-shuhada'i was-salihin. O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make us from among those people who are going to inherit Jannat al-Na'im, the paradise of bliss. O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, matti'na, let us enjoy with seeing, with sighting, looking at your generous face, with the company of the prophets of Allah, the Siddiqeen, the martyrs, and as-Salihin, the good people. And we should always, when we make such type of dua, we should always remember that we can only achieve this thing if we remember one thing, and that is, we must not be occupied by the love of this world only. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man ja'ala humumahu hamman wahidan hamma akhiratih kafallahu humum ad-dunya wal akhirah. The person who makes all his worries into just one worry, and that is the worry of al-akhirah, the hereafter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would be enough for him to take all his burdens, all his worries of this world and the hereafter. وَمَنْ تَشَعَّبَتْ بِهِ الْهُمُومِ فَلَمْ يُبَالِ بِهِ اللَّهِ فِي أَيِّ وَادٍ مِنَ الْأَوْدِيَةِ حَلَكَ. And the person who got many worries, تَشَعَّبَتْ بِهِ الْهُمُومِ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not care in which valley he goes and destroys himself, where he falls and be destroyed completely. That should be the criterion for us. Make your worries, all of them centered in just one worry, and that is the worry about al-akhirah, what is going to happen to me in the hereafter. Because this worldly life, the worldly enjoyments, the worldly assets, your properties, you are going to leave them all. And then the real thing which is going to benefit you, that is your deen, your good actions, your recital of Al-Quran, your prayer, your fasting, your hajj. Care about that, think about that. And with this we come to the end of this episode. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الله الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار. الله الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز